we are going to go through, I have a nice video walkthrough of the Hunter Order Hall. It's located in High Mountain. It's called the True Shot Lodge. This was a pleasure, absolute pleasure for me to go through. I don't hunter, and it's instantly, I already felt like I was a hunter when I was in there. So I'm going to go ahead and, I do have a hunter. It's like level 37. I'm so lazy.
That's right.
Let me put this over here. And we're going to go ahead and Lycan has some nice hunter lore that he's going to be talking about as well while you guys get to watch this beautiful video.
For the Horde.
Oh, smack you. From an early age, the call of the wild draws some adventurers from the comfort of their homes into an unforgiving primal world outside. Those who endure become hunters, masters of their environment. They are able to slip like ghosts through trees and lay traps in the path of their enemies. As we've gone through with the warrior class, the hunter is probably one of the oldest class in Azeroth history. Very similar to the warrior, they don't rely on arcane or fell magic primarily to do their damage. They are close to the wild, they build strong bonds with their companions, and are always on the hunt. Whether they're bleeding or blending in with the environment or having their companions maul your face while they shoot an arrow in your knee, see what I did there? Hunters are forced to be reckoned with. Hunters have been masters of traps, ranged weapons, and at one point, and soon again, meleeing their opponents and face smashing them. There are several notable hunters, though, around, and in Azeroth and Draenor as well. Some of them are the Windrunner sisters. If you're not familiar, it's Illyria, Varisa, and Sylvanas, and we know Sylvanas is the queen of the Forsaken. Chandra's Feathermoon, which was a night elf, and she was the general of the Sentinel army. You got Hemet Nesingwary and Rexxar, champion of the Horde. And you're going to see that, yes, I actually did a nice little piece on the Horde for you people, so you guys can calm down. Start off with the Windrunner sisters. They were forces to be reckoned with. During the Second War, several members of the Windrunner sisters were actually killed by the Orc forces. With their one brother and their parents now dead, Illyria joined up with the Alliance expedition and to find revenge for their deaths. We actually know that Illyria has disappeared, and we are going to see her again come in Legion, her and Terralium. You also have Varisa. Varisa actually married Ronan. Ronan being the now dead leader of the current tour. And we actually see a lot of hers with the book that spanned MoP and Warlords of Draenor. Definitely take a look at it. The Windrunners helped fight some of the Scourge forces led by Arthas Menethil, aka the Lich King, on the attack of Kel'Thuzad. Varisa escaped, but not Sylvanas. Now, Sylvanas fought valiantly, but as she and her rangers made a stand in Fairbreeze Village. You can read in the books, though, that as the horror came to Sylvanas, to those that who fought by her side in battle were actually raised by Arthas and used to fight back. Sylvanas ended up tried to kill Arthas, but she was no match for Frostmourne. She became mutilated and her soul was tortured. She became a banshee. Her body was actually thrown right onto a meat wagon and eventually locked away in an iron coffin. Now more powerful than she ever was when she was alive, Arthas used Sylvanas to attack her own people. He allowed Sylvanas to retain her self-awareness, so she actually knew what was happening, but she was pretty much a pup the entire time. Eventually, the mind control on Sylvanas weakened. She was able to break the bonds. And her existence from this point on was to help other Forsaken break that bond and have and mass an army to exact vengeance on Arthas himself. Now, we've been waiting since Wrath for more lore on the Forsaken, and I believe we're going to be receiving a lot of that information coming in Legion. So very excited for that. Going to another hunter, we have Hemet Nesingwary. Hemet is one of those fabled hunters we either come to love or hate. We encountered him in several different places in the Grand, Shalazar Basin, Valley of the Four Winds, even in New Grand on Draenor. Now, he loves hunting big game, and it's pretty much his main drive. As we level, we get quests from him, or now his son from Stranglethorn Vale, to hunt a certain amount of big game, most of the time ending in a named NPC. When Hemet traveled to Draenor, though, he was promised the opportunity by both sides to hunt big game. However, they instead told him to hunt the Warsong wolves for domestication. Hemet was just completely unhappy about this. And actually, if you go into New Grand right now, you can actually find him completely shit-faced, sitting on the side of a lake fishing. And you can actually drink with him. And if you have a drink with him, he'll show up on in your garrison. A little tidbit for you if you didn't know that. Last but certainly not least, we have the man, the myth, the legend, and arguably the most revered hunter out there And with the title of the champion of the Horde, you can see why he's so respected or feared. Rexxar, known as the last son of the Mok'Nathal. Now, before we get in, the Mok'Nathal are a race of half ogres, half orcs. Rexxar is one of the only remaining members of this clan. He's a Beastmaster hunter, has several notable companions that came around with him. Haratha the wolf, Leok the wyvern, he had a hawk named Spirit, Huffer the boar, but most notably, he had a bear. It's a fearsome bear by the name of Misha. Rexxar left that pacifist clan of Mok'Nathal from the Blade's Edge Mountains to join up with the Horde, and he left through the Dark Portal. He fought with the Horde through the Second War, but was concerned with the slaughters that the orcs continued with afterwards. After several betrayals and then the death of Haratha, now Haratha leapt between Rexxar and an orc warlock and was completely drained of its life. Rexxar killed that warlock. He isolated himself only to be with his beast companions with whom he knew he could trust. And Rexxar and Misha basically roamed Kalimdor for quite some time. Now, Rexxar did come upon a work warrior by the name of Mogren, and we see that he's attacked by a bunch of Quillboars. Rexxar tried to help, but it was a little too late. Mogren asked him, though, says, "Can you deliver a message to Thrall?" And when he did, Thrall asked him to stay. He told Rexxar that this land was his as well as the orcs. And Rexxar insisted, though, if he was going to stay with the Horde, that he was going to go ahead and earn his keep. Thrall sent him on many messages, killing powerful leaders of the Harpies, the Kobolds. He helped the Horde through many of the incursions by the humans, even traveling as far as to go to the Echo Isles to assist in Vol'jin. Rexxar traveled to Theramore as well and was concerned with the human settlements in Dustwallow Marsh. After meeting Jaina Proudmoore and fighting a Naga army, he returned to Theramore with Jaina. There he met Admiral Proudmoore, Jaina's father, ordered Rexxar's capture, even though Jaina asked that he be left alone. Rexxar escaped and returned to the Echo Isles to Vol'jin. Slew many malevolent enemies there as well, traveled to Draenor to fight in the arenas to gain experience. And then Rexxar ended up traveling to Mulgar to talk to the Tarns before the battle. Rexxar was sent by Cairn to return the captured Bane Bloodhoof at the time. After returning to Vol'jin, Rexxar went into Dustwallow Marsh, and we see there he encountered the Stonemaul clan, which is a clan of ogres, and after proving himself, was able to join this clan. He then fought for control of the clan, convinced him to fight alongside with him. Thrall, though, after Rexxar had proven all his deeds and fighting all these enemies and slaying them for them, named Rexxar the champion of the Horde and put him in charge of fighting Admiral Proudmoore's forces. Rexxar was very victorious in his battles, eventually fought Admiral Proudmoore directly, and ended up killing him. He disappeared into the wilderness for some times after that. We did see him return in to help fight and killing Onyxia. And he has been back to the Blade. He's now back at the Blade's Edge Mountains, and that's where you can find him right now. We will see Rexxar again in Legion. This isn't really giving any spoilers away, but we do know that he's been rumored to have joined something called the Unseen Path. Now, this is a union of all hunters formed after the War of the Ancients. Really have never taken root in the lore in-game, but we do read these in a lot of the books about the Unseen Path, who they are, and it will be really nice to see them actually in Legion. Now, as for the artifact weapons, hunters have some huge changes coming in Azeroth. Beastmasters actually receive a weapon called Titan Strike. Now, it was actually created by Mimron, and it's powered by Thorim. And I forget it, I think it's called Titan Core, Titan Powers, that is the name of or Storm, I forget what it is. But anyway, it's powered by Thorim himself. Now, when you use this weapon, you do get an ability that is granted. It's called Hattie Fight with, to have Hattie fight with you as a companion. The ability to dual wield pets in Legion is going to be freaking epic. Hattie is if you know what Skull is, which is one of the pets that most hunters try to go after in Northrend, it's a blue, thundering, lightning-looking wolf. Hattie is going to be the direct, not opposite, but it's kind of like going to be its counterpart. And a very cool story, and I don't want to go into it here, but if you ever want to read up a good story about Norse mythology and what these two pets are, go read about Hattie and Skull, and you can see why they are so important, and why they've brought into the lore of Warcraft. It's really awesome. Marksman hunters. you're going to get a powerful weapon called Thastera. It's the legacy of the Windrunners. This is a family heirloom that was passed down from the Windrunners, and it is crafted from the limb of the mother tree in Eversong Forest, and handed down to the eldest of each generation. As of where the location of the bow is right now, we're not sure. We believe that Illyria had it, but they haven't really proven that yet in game. I don't want to go into alpha spoilers. But that is the weapon that the marksman hunter is going to get. Now, this actually provides an ability called Wind Burst, allowing increased movement speed into the arrow's path to all allies and a massive damage onto its target. So if you're standing between the target and the hunter, you're actually going to get an increased movement speed. Lastly, there is the survival hunters. Lots of controversy over this. Some people love it, some people hate it, but they've been changed from a ranged class to a melee class. They're going to receive a polearm named Talonclaw, Spirit of the Wild Gods. The High Mountain Tauren, which you'll meet in Legion, crafted this weapon 10,000 years ago. And this is way before actually the Legion even came here the first time. When you use the weapon, you get an ability called Fury the Eagle. Unleashing, it says, a bunch of frontal spear attacks, which I'm assuming maybe is like that, I don't know the name of the spell, but it's the one that the monks use where they attack in front with a bunch of hits. It actually looks pretty nice. I like the idea that they're going melee. Before you get into the argument of melee hunters, it was actually a semi-viable option in vanilla. Melee hunters in vanilla in PvP were freaking evil. Also, I'll be completely honest, I can't count the amount of times that I've actually ran out of ammo when I was playing a hunter in Wrath and had to unintentionally become a melee hunter, but it worked. And you may not have gotten the best numbers, but you were still able to put us up some decent numbers. And I can't wait to see it. It's really going to be nice. It's going to be fresh, a breath of fresh air for the hunter class, which I think sometimes becomes very stale because it's been around and it's been so overused. And just remember, people, change is good. You know, it's not that scary. Please just give it a chance, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. But super excited. The video of the hunter class looks awesome, the class hall. I can't wait to meet some of these people like Rexxar. I believe we'll probably end up running into Hemet Nesingwary again. It'd be nice.
The part that we're at with the video's almost over, but the part where we're at is I didn't notice the river the first 12 times I was in the hunter hall. I noticed this river off to the side, and I was like, I wonder if she's tall enough, because obviously since gnome hunters are a thing, most of the classes that I've rolled in Legion specifically for these videos have been gnomes, if I can get away with it, because they're smaller so they don't take up the screen size, right? I don't want them to take up the visual when I'm doing videos like this, but it's just super weird being a gnome and being a hunter, and she was...
I was curious about that too, if you picked the gnome for that specific reason.
No, I didn't intentionally. Well, once I started doing the video, I realized what it meant when I did that, and I was like, oh, I'm pretty smart, guys. Like, and they're right here at this part, there's this, I don't know what that NPC is, the flying bird dragon eagle. I don't really know what it was, but as a gnome, I was super afraid it was going to swoop down and just like scoop me up.
Take you away.
Yeah, I was pretty scared, but I noticed it
didn't
because
have a name.
Leok, Leokk.
Okay, Leok is
Leok,
one of the pets of Rexxar.
Oh, okay.
That is that was one of actually his pets that he had. Not as famous as Misha or Harather. Yeah, that was one of his, and that kind of gives you an Easter egg there that you probably will be meeting Rexxar throughout Legion itself.
I appreciate that the targeting dummies are the archery targets. I like the little nuances that they did do with each class hall. It's super appropriate.
That's cool.
Yeah, they did a really, really good job, and I'm about to get DDoSed by people. I hated doing these videos of the halls because people just don't even mind. They run right